quiet in here. I don't know what's going on. Like, can y'all hear me? Yeah, can y'all hear me? I would hate to, yo. Yeah, can y'all hear me? Okay. I knew something was brewing. Yo. Yeah, can y'all hear me? Okay. I'm trying to figure out why that was like that. We good? Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. What? I ain't done the 3 in a while. Yo. Power Monday. Talking about the greedy person and the stingy person, provided that they're not the same person. You might have to get a little subliminal tonight. So, I want y'all to think about it for a minute. If you had to deal with one or the other, but not both, gun to the head. Gun to the head. Which one would you rather deal with? The greedy person or the stingy person? Hey, it ain't that easy when you really get to thinking about it. Which one would you rather deal with? The greedy person or the stingy person? Now, to be honest with you, there are advantages and disadvantages to both. But you got to think about it. Because if you don't think about it, it's going to sound like neither one are favorable. And it may just be that way. But we're going to see, yo, hit the like button, y'all. Yo, help me out. Help me out. Human therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily. It's the daily go-getter-mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talk about the greedy one and the stingy one tonight. What you know about being real greedy? Never give it to the needy. Oh, wait a minute. Greed don't mean that you don't give, but stingy means you don't care how nobody live. But we gonna break it all down. I'm glad y'all here this Monday. Let's mess around. We gonna talk just like a cipher. Going to be this thing, bidding like a 20 to lifer. Everything is going to work out fine. Yo, a stingy person is like, yo, I got mine, So you going to have to find a way to get yours. The greedy one is like, yo, I took yours. Gotta watch out for the greedy one, cause the greed don't stop. It's like hip hop. That thing keep building just like building, and you ain't never gonna reach the ceiling. Word. So let's get into it. The greedy one, the greedy person, and the stingy person. Now, a lot of y'all might be thinking like, well, what's the difference between being stingy and being greedy? Because a lot of times the person that is greedy is stingy also. Not all the time. That's definitely not a slam dunk. It's not a guarantee that just because you're greedy, you're not going to be a giver. I've personally known people who were greedy as hell, but they still gave. They might have been really greedy. They was going to take all that they could get, and they were always insatiable. But it did not mean that they didn't give. Even if they only gave in order to try to get more from somewhere else or something else, they still gave. Now, the stingy person is a different animal. Now, if you don't want nothing from a stingy person, then stingy might be the way to go for you. Because if you don't need nothing, if you're the independent type, if you're the type that likes to go for yours, if you're the type of person that got a little stinginess in your, in your repertoire yourself, you might not mind dealing with the stingy person. But you also have to think about how deep stinginess goes. See, if we just think about it on the surface, like stingy means that you don't give money, then you probably don't have a problem with it. But then when you realize that stinginess goes deep, like stingy with their time, stingy with their love, stingy with their affection, stingy with their sex, stingy with the people that they care about or that care about them. Then you start seeing like, oh, not only are you stingy, but you're miserly. Oh, so even when you have enough, even when you see somebody needs more than you have and you have it to give, you have the resources, you still like, pardon my back. I ain't let the next man give them. I ain't giving nothing. They wouldn't do it for me. And it might be all right for you that somebody looks at life that way until you really realize like, oh, this person's stingy with all their stuff. They won't give to their mama or their daddy or their sisters or their brothers or their cousins or their aunties or their uncles or their nephews or their nieces or their kids or they nothing. So let's get into it. I'm going to move this hardware out of the way. I'm going to move this hardware out of the way. I'm going to move this hardware out of the way. We're going to move this hardware out of the way. I got to. Okay, all right. Okay, no more playing the drum, man. No more playing the drum, man. We're going to go ahead and start a conversation. And the conversation going to be good. I can guarantee you that. I might not be able to make no other guarantees in my life, but I'm going to tell you this. This conversation tonight is going to go deep. It's gonna go differently, and we gonna turn up. What up, y'all? How y'all feeling, man? Let me say what's up to my peoples that have arrived. What up, T. Carry Right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Evan, what's good? And Sparks, Jihad. Damn, man, I ain't seen you in a minute. It's good to see you, Jihad. And Cosmic Introvert. And Shirley Cheryl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Cheryl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, Ma? And Lay, and Mikey. And I ain't fucking with that. All right, Eternity of Darkness says, it's crashing my brain. Okay, cool. Hope you didn't die. But if you did, I hope you died for a good cause. And Yo Chill says, how did your battle with the Spartans go? Oh, God, y'all killing me tonight. Oh, my God. And American Flannel says, what is this infomercial selling? Stupidity? Ooh, I got something for you. Fuck out of here. And Angel Cepeda says, you ever seen the movie Alien Romulus? Dillard B. Commons. Now, that's what I'm talking about. My man Dillard, what's good? And Coco McGill says, facts. What up? And Angel said, you look like the Rock. You look like Maui. There, anybody else? Who says, what are those rocks on your neck? Actually, these are bones on my neck. These are bones on my neck. As a matter of fact, hold on, give me a second. Saif Khan says, have you watched Bourne Ultimatum? Yes, it was dope. All of the Bourne series. Very, very good. Jason Bourne, baby. Hell yeah. Jeff Sprayberry, what's good? What's up, man? Good to see you. So yeah, these are genuine cow bones around the neck. This is how we get down. You know, you can see the cow bone up close. You know, they clickety clack. They click. They're definitely heavy. But I got something for you. I haven't done this in a while. I know Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world, will approve of this. I haven't done this in a while. Since I'm rocking the bones, y'all can rock the bones too. So this is what we're going to do, because we haven't done this in a minute. So I'm going to let y'all rock. I'm going to let y'all wear the cow bones. So you can pick which one you want. Now, because, all right, my left is here. Your left is here. So we're going to do it like this. Do y'all want to wear the one on the left? You see it shining, genuine cow bone. Or the one in the middle? Darker accents. Good. Which one y'all want to wear? Please don't take all day. Please don't take all day. The one in the middle or the one on the right? 3 votes will get it placed. All right. Shirley Cheryl says the one on the left. That would be this one. All right. South Valley says left. Jeff says right. All right, so this is the one on the left. One more vote and it gets in. This is the one in the middle. All right, and this is the one on the... Okay, this is the one on the left. My bad. This is the one on the left. Who is trying to call in here already? I mean, it's not going to happen, but I might be able to put them on hold. Nah, it ain't time for you yet. All right, so, matter of fact, let me turn you down a little bit. Turn you down a little bit. Let's do this again. What we got? We got 2 for the left and 1 for the right. Nah, John, you too early. You can't call. You can't call yet. You see, I'm in the middle of something. All right. So which one y'all want? The one on the left. This is. I mean, I'm sorry. This is the one on the right. What the hell? The one on the right. The one in the middle. Or the one on the left. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, we just need one more. One more for left, and it goes down. This is the one on the left. You can't vote again, Cheryl. This is the one on the left. This is the one in the middle. And this is the one on the right. Which one? All right, Brandon. Wait a minute. Did Brandon say? Okay, the one on the left. The one on the left wins. The one on the left wins. So that would be this one. So let's get it popping. I need y'all to stick y'all neck out. No Diddy. What do they say? Pause, all that old bullshit. All right, get y'all fitted here. All right, give y'all the ocular proof. Let you see how y'all looking over here. And you're looking good. You're looking good from my point of view. Let me see. Okay. Look at that. See, look at y'all looking good. Looking good, ladies. You're looking beautiful. You're looking lovely. You're looking pretty. You're looking sweet. You're looking gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? It look like somebody gonna take you home tonight, baby. And brothers, you're looking handsome. You're looking suave. You're looking debonair. You know what I mean? You got that shit on tonight. Everything good. Everybody looking good. Real good. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking good. Take a screenshot or give them what you got, or take a screenshot. Yeah, you like it a lot, or take a screenshot. Yeah, you know how it go when you was rocking the cow bones with your man on the show. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it, shall we? So the greedy person and the stingy person. The greedy person and the stingy person. Now, what are y'all initial thoughts about the greedy person and the stingy person? Now, without really thinking about it, when I think about somebody who's stingy, I start thinking about money. I start thinking about somebody who doesn't like to share their coins with anybody, even though they have the money, even though they have the resources. You know, they don't like to give up what they have. Now, some people might call that being frugal or saving or whatever. No, there's a difference between being stingy and saving. There's a big difference, because a person who saves has a purpose in mind. A person who saves has thought about, what they're saving for. They probably are saving. They might be saving for a car. They might be saving for a house. They might be saving to make sure that, they a major appliance in the house. Washers, dryers, a new refrigerator, maybe home repairs, things like that. That's what people save for. So I can understand a person budgeting their money and making sure that they don't extend themselves beyond what they need to do in order to accomplish their goals. That's normal. That's actually commendable and is disciplined. That's being an adult. A stingy person has what they need. They have what they want. They have what they need. They just are not given to anybody, even if somebody is way needier than them and they have more than enough time, resources, money, or whatever to give them. They just don't give. So they see a homeless person out there. They don't feel nothing for them. Like, well, you need to go get a job. Well, yeah, they probably should go get a job, but it's hard to get a job when you don't have an address. Because normally on the application, it asks for your address. And speaking for the suffix of the word address, dress. Yeah, the way that you dress often has an impact on your ability to get a job. And it's probably hard to get a job when you are suffering from mental illness on some or talking to yourself and you ain't got in no Bluetooth headphones or earbuds or anything like that. But a stingy person doesn't think like that. They don't give a fuck. Well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that they don't give a fuck about anybody. They just don't give a fuck about anybody on the level of trying to help them. I think that's fair to say. I think that's fair to say. All right. Okay. John, if you want to call now, you can call now. You know, I just had to finish doing what I was doing. Brandon Barr says, how much? Not sure what you mean by that. B and Buttercup says crackhead beads. When have you ever seen a crackhead with beads? And anyway, these aren't beads, these are bones. Bones. The bones of the ancestral cows. These are cow bones. Bull bones. Charlie says, looks good on you, brother. Love from Paris. Love from Paris. Love from Paris. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And John says, I used to deal with ivory. Oh, no, I don't want nothing to do with no ivory. I don't want elephants. I don't want elephants dying or being killed. Nah, I'm good. Cows, we got enough cows. We can spare some cows. But I'm not doing that to no elephants. I can't do it. I love cows. But I still eat beef, so you know. I've never tried elephant, and I don't think I will. Okay. Jersey Nakori says, I read that shit. I looked at that shit like I was going to be able to read it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't translate that. I can't translate it. I got nothing. Jeff Sprayberry says, speaking of greedy person, Dallas is going to be without the best linebacker in the league because they don't want to spend the money. Well, you know, I would say, Jeff, I would say wait on that because I'm not sure that Micah is going to not be with the Cowboys. I have to admit it's not looking good. But it ain't because Jerry is stingy. It's because he's not a good GM. He has no business, him or his son, being a GM. He should let football people do their thing, and maybe y'all would have a chance on winning another Super Bowl. But honestly, I hope y'all never win a Super Bowl ever. And I mean ever. I mean ever. I don't care if Jerry lives to be 115 or if he doesn't make it through 2025. I don't like the Cowboys, and I never want y'all to win again. But that's me being stingy with championships. It took me a long time to get to, and yeah, I don't want nobody else to get none. But that's just me. Dylan says, hold on. Dylan says that beard lineup is diabolical. Well, diabolical. Well, you know, I showed a video that I made earlier this year about how to shape up a beard. So I can show you how to do it. If you have hair on your face and you want a beard like this, it wouldn't be like me. I didn't invent this look. But if you want to see how to do it, I could show you pieces of the video tonight. But yes, this is a real beard. I can't no dye, no coloring. You know what I mean? We just shape this shit up. And I don't even have to brush it or comb it or anything like that. So with no extras over here. I don't wear makeup. Last year, everybody used to say I look like I have on eyeliner or what they used to say, eyeliner or mascara, some bullshit or whatever. No, and we don't play them kind of games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never dye my hair at any age ever. I would never do that. What's that? Shanae? Or Shanae? Is that the son of Alpha? No, it's not. But I respect that. And thanks for noticing. I appreciate that. Harsh Singh. What's up, Harsh Singh? What's that? LeBronix River. Zulu. Wait a minute. Zulu, you heard? Wait a minute. To all the white queens, we love you. Okay, cool. All right. Maurice Powell says, we talking about Jesus in here? Well, no. Jeff says, I agree. I hate the Cowboys with every breath of my body. Word. Let me hold on. You say you hate the Cowboys. Hold on. Let me give a wait a minute. Why that shit so low? The fuck? Oh. Maybe if I turned it up, it wouldn't be so low. All right, we good? We good? Yeah. To hell with the Cowboys. I really don't think they're going to do good this year. But I've been trying not to fast and pray that they don't do well. All right. We're definitely going to talk about the poll. It says the Cowgirls will smack you this season. Smack who? Ain't nobody beating the Eagles this year. Cowboys, but look, we opened the season playing the Cowboys. The Cowboys not beating us. The Cowboys couldn't beat their dick in a porno movie. I'm just going to put it out there. The Cowboys couldn't beat their dick in a porno movie. A good one. I'm talking heterosexual. So Alex says, hey, man, it's my birthday today. I just wanted to say, have a good stream. Well, happy Leo birthday. I hope you're telling the truth because my birthday was last week on Tuesday. So if you really are Leo, the lions stand up. E2 says, unless I'm late. Nah, you good. Samar Sandhu says, rest in power. Sidhu Moose Wala. Okay, I don't know who that is, but on the strength of you, respect due. Rest in power. Nah, Dirk Diggler, you get none. Uncle Ren says he is with all of us protecting our soul. That's what's up. All right. Michael B says, I think you're being delusional, but at least you're not a Cowgirls fan. Delusional? Well, who's the defending champion? Who won the Super Bowl? I mean, who won the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl 40 points? You know the real score in the Super Bowl was 40-6. We're not going for those garbage time 2 TDs, late TDs in the last 2-3 minutes of the game. You know what I mean? When the game was already decided. We're not doing that. The score was 40-6. I'm getting some paraphernalia. I'm getting some merch printed up. Super Bowl 59, 40-6. Eagles. So you can say that Eagles are delusional all you want. They whooped ass. How you gonna win 16 of your last 17 games after starting off 2-2? Who does that? Eagles. That's who. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So we're talking about greed versus the greedy person and the stingy person. You know, how many people? We got 38 38 votes in the poll already? All right, well, let's take a look at it. We got 38. Let's take a look at it. Is it easier to deal with someone who is stingy or someone who is greedy? All right, so 39 votes. All right, so 38%, 38% of the voters said stingy because they keep to themselves. So it's 40% now because 40 votes. Okay. All right, 10% says greedy, at least they ain't stingy. And 17% says you can be broke and still be stingy. And 32% says you can be broke and greedy. And that's true. All of these are true. So in a lot of ways, this is a judgment call. A lot of ways, this is a judgment call. But, you know, aside from the poll, if you're in the comments, let me know. Let me know. Would you rather deal with a stingy person? Like gun to the head. Gun to the head. If you had to deal with one, but not both, which one would you deal with? Which one would you choose? A greedy person or a stingy person? Now, let me go over what I consider to be the advantages and disadvantages of both. Now, all right, if you're dealing with a greedy person, like for example, with the gun to my head, I would pick being with dealing with a greedy person. With a stingy person, because I don't ask people for things anyway. For the most part, if I need something, I normally go to people who I can depend on, who I already know, and who I know will help me out. And you know, and I try to pay them back. I do. I pay them back, or I know I'm going to represent. So a person that's stingy is not going to offend me so much because, you know, like I'm not asking you for shit anyway. You know what I mean? I'm just looking for a way to be able to take care of myself. So you being stingy means that, you know, you keep all your coins or whatever you have to yourself. And I probably won't have that much of a problem with it. But here's the disadvantages of being a stingy person. You don't really realize how deep stinginess can go until you really deal with a stingy person. So for example, a stingy person has the money, has the time, has the resources. They have what they need. They just will not give it to somebody else who is needy or who wants it or who has earned it or requires it or whatever. They don't. They keep everything that they have for themselves, and that can really get under your skin if you're the type of person that likes to give or likes to see people's faces light up, or you like to see people enjoy themselves, or you know, you like to enhance people's lives by giving to them or providing for them, because a stingy person does not provide. They don't provide. That's the problem. So you might see a stingy person be stingy to their children, to their spouses, their lovers, girlfriends, boyfriends. They get stingy with pussy. They get stingy with dick. They get stingy with love. They get stingy with affection. So yeah, it was all good when they just wasn't giving up no money. But here you are horny, laying next to a chick that got a nice fat ass, big juicy titties, but she's stingy with the twizzy. She's stingy with the twizzy. So instead of you being able to pull her hair back, you know what I'm saying? You know, you looking. She said, no, not tonight. She said, no, not tonight. And she ain't got no headache. Her cycle is not on. There's nothing wrong with her. She just stingy with the pussy. 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 Yo, you thought that you was getting some ass tonight. You gonna have to jerk off. Yo, that shit ain't right. This is the woman that you got the nerve to call your wife. Yo, You gonna be jacking off for the rest of your life. In order for you to get your shit off, go to the bathroom. You should do that shit right in your bed, cause you got enough room. She ain't giving you no love and she ain't got no panties on. Yo, you don't wanna rape, but yo, this shit is on. Yo, this shit is kinda bad cause she's stingy as hell. You gonna have to jerk that shit as hell. And shit ain't well. Yo, and I can tell that you sadder than the motherfucker, but you picked the stingy one as well. Okay, so, you know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all like that? Hold on. Fuck that. Hold on. New song, Stingy with the Pussy. 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 She ain't giving you no loving tonight. You feel like you wanna rumble and fight, but that still ain't gonna give you no ass. Hey yo, when it comes to ass, you go last. Stingy with the pussy. Stingy with the pussy. Stingy with the pussy. Stingy with the stingy with the pussy. Stingy with the pussy. She's stingy with the pussy. You ain't get no mushy. Okay. So those are some of the advantages and the disadvantages of dealing with a stingy person. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Hit the like button, please. Please. See, some of y'all be stingy with the likes. Like, man, I ain't liking that shit, man. Yeah, that was kind of funny. I'm not. No. Not liking it. No. Please hit the like button. Stop being stingy. Stop being stingy with the likes. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is tap the screen twice. You know what I mean? You're like, man, fuck that nigga, man. I ain't tapping that screen. I don't like this shit. I'm gonna keep listening for a little while longer, but I ain't liking this shit. All right, anyway. So those are some of the disadvantages and the advantages of dealing with a stingy person. Now, a lot of people might think dealing with a greedy person might be a little advantageous because people think that greedy people have money. Like, yo, if they greedy, then that means that they probably looking for power. They probably work a lot. They're probably not lazy. Well, you can be greedy and still be broke. You can be greedy and still be lazy. You can be greedy and just be motherfucking shifty. Oh, you know what? One thing I forgot about the whole. You know what? Tell you what, I'm gonna save that. I had something else that I needed to say about the whole stingy person, but I'm gonna let it ride for now. We're gonna get back to it. But yeah, with the greedy person, a greedy person is insatiable, so they never get enough of nothing. Now when you talk about money, if they are a hustler, if they a go-getter, if they really be getting to that bag, they greedy for the money, that might be advantageous to you because you're thinking that just because they greedy don't mean that they are not givers. I know a lot of greedy people who really don't mind. They don't mind sharing the wealth. They get a lot for themselves because a lot of times that's where their power comes from. So they greedy. The thing is, a greedy person steals. Maybe not all the time, but if the opportunity presents itself, even though they have enough, they never have enough. So they'll always have enough in the eyes of a person that's not greedy. But for a greedy person, they never have enough food. They keep eating. They never have enough money. They keep working, or they keep stealing, or they keep hustling. They never have enough. They never have enough sex. If you've ever dealt with a person that was greedy when it comes to sex, yo, no, sir. She is not understanding that y'all been fucking for 3 hours straight. You done wore out the blue pill, baby. She's still like, give me more. Give me more. Give me more. I'm a whore. Give me more like Demi Moore. I need the dick, son. You better stick that shit up in this one. And don't let me have no refractory period. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Yo, I'm serious. So make sure you get it up and make it hard because I'm about to be ready in 5 minutes. The card is going to get pulled. I ain't talking no bull. That shit is going to be scraped up like wool. Yo, you know what I'm talking about? Yo, the greedy shit is the insatiable shit. So you're greedy and you're insatiable. A greedy person never gets enough. How many of y'all used to dealing with a greedy person, a greedy person, a greedy for food? Come on, man. Eating all the time. Like, listen, man, I have a healthy appetite like anybody else, but I ain't stuffing my face all day long. I don't even eat until 5:30 in the afternoon. Real shit. Real shit. Well, I don't go to bed till like 5 in the morning either, you know. But between 5 a.m. and 5 p.m., I don't eat shit. So a greedy person that eats a lot, you know, they're going to blow up to like 500-600 pounds and don't see nothing wrong with it because they greedy. You know, you ever watch that show, My 600-Pound Life? Shit is disgusting, son. But they was greedy for food. Now you can say that, well, it's because they have an eating disorder. Well, that's called greed. It's called greed. When they fail to lose the weight, why is it? Because they was eating. You know what I mean? At 600 pounds, you shouldn't be doing nothing but drinking water for like 6 months. For like 6 months, you shouldn't do nothing but drink water. Nothing. No food. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It takes a lot of greed in order to get to 500, 600 pounds. It takes a lot. Years worth of greed and gluttony. But a greedy person can also get into ruthless and reckless behavior. Greedy people are often very, very ruthless. So whatever they have to do in order to get things, they will do it. So they'll steal, they'll rob, they will cheat, they will deceive, they will commit crimes because the ends always justify the means when it comes to a greedy person. It's not sweet like that. So yeah, and on the surface, you thinking that they just greedy for money, but when you dealing with a greedy person in a romantic relationship, and you realize that your dick or your pussy will never be enough for them, they feel like it's their right to satisfy their greed. So they fucking this one and that one and the other one and the one over there, and maybe even trying to holler at your family members and all of that. Why? Because they greedy. So what they try to call that? Oh, they have a sex addiction. Man, stop fucking. How about it's greed? Greed. That's what it is. You know, we make up all of these psychological terms to try to, justify the nasty trifling shit that people do. But how about we just call it what it is? It's greed. And a greedy person might be greedy for your time. So they exercise greed and stinginess at the same time. So they want you all to themselves. So no, you can't go see your peoples. No, you can't hang out with your friends. No, you can't have this. You can't have that. You can't go here. You can't go there. You can't do nothing because that person requires all of your time and all of your energy, and they usurp. You know, there's a word we don't use all the time. Usurp. That means you consume everything. And a greedy person wants it all. What up, Mr. Hazmat? What's good? And Elite on beat. he said, you hella overweight. I know you not talking. You what, 350 pounds? I'm not even 250 pounds. Said Mr. Rashid can train you. Yo, Elite on the beat. You've come to the right place because everybody who comes here on a regular basis is kind of thick-skinned. So I actually thought that what you said was funny. You know what I mean? I ain't even mad at you. But at the same time, you can eat an AIDS dick and die. And not an HIV positive dick, AIDS, full blown. You can eat a full blown AIDS dick and die. You, Mr. Elite on beat. Look, he's dying slow. He couldn't get no Combivir, so you couldn't control your AIDS from the AIDS, full-blown AIDS dick that you ate for talking shit on the Daily Go Getimism show. Holla. So, all right. So, Dr. Bogus says, you insecure, bro? I don't know. I guess we all have some insecurities. Says, how do you know so much about greed? Should I be wary of you? I know about greed because I read. See, I'm greedy for knowledge. I like to know shit, learn shit. So I read. I still read. Y'all might be on the internet all the time. I read. Even on the internet, I read. I like, y'all read headlines. I read articles. I actually click on the joint. Y'all be like, I ain't reading all that shit. Ooh, the headline said. So you might be stuck in clickbait. I actually went through the article and decided whether it was actually good or bad because of critical thinking and things like that. So no, I know a lot about a lot of things. It doesn't have to apply to me. I mean, I'm sure you smarter than that. Let me see. Dr. Bogus says, what about airplane rules? I need my oxygen mask first to help others. But that's not being stingy. See, I don't know if you were here a few minutes ago. I was talking about the difference between being frugal or saving and being stingy. There's a difference. When you are a frugal person or you're money conscious or whatever, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? That's a good thing. Those are lessons that you should teach your kids and anybody else around you that you care about. You don't spend all your money just because you have it. People adopt that mantra like, well, you can't die with it. You might as well spend. Well, unless you planning to die today, why the fuck would you spend all your money, you dumbass? Unless you planning to die today, what are you talking about you can't take it with you for? It's just a stupid sounding excuse that you heard somebody else say, so you said it. And you know what? All right, fuck it. What up, my man Troy Diesel is in the house. What's going on, my dude? How you feeling tonight?
What's going on? I can't call it the same day, a different day, whatever day. Selfish with the pussy, boy.
Selfish? No, stingy. Not selfish. The pussy is hers, so she could be selfish with it. But stingy with the pussy. That shit, I'm telling you, it's a hit, right? Stingy with the pussy. Stingy with the pussy. Stingy with the pussy. You don't want no joint stingy with the pussy.
Sing that shit like Luther Vandross.
Nah, fuck that. No. That shit gotta be upbeat. You ain't gonna fucking slow sing me a stingy with the pussy song. Nah, this shit ain't time for love. You stingy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Look. You don't try to romanticize yourself when you gotta jerk off in the bathroom. Like, oh yeah, you so sweet. Get the fuck out of here. You try to get that shit over with quick. Stingy with the pussy. Stingy with the pussy. Stingy with. But anyway. So what's good with you, my dog? What's good?
I can't call. What's going on with you, bro?
Feeling like a real man should. You already know. I'm feeling like a real man should all day, every day.
Time for me to jump in the road now. Well,
Hold on. Before you go, I need to know your choice. With a gun to your head, which one would you choose to deal with? A stingy person or a greedy person?
A greedy person.
Oh, okay. Can you please expound on that? Elaborate on that. Talk about it.
Because a greedy person will still share with you. They will still share with you. A stingy person won't give you shit. A greedy person will have just enough that they'll fulfill themselves, but then have some left over and be like, yo, you hungry? I ate just enough I can eat, man. Hey, you want some more? That's how I feel about it. A greedy person won't just because they're greedy doesn't make them stingy. But you also got to be, keep your eye on a stingy person because I think a while ago we spoke on this. That a stingy person will do some underhanded. A greedy person will do some underhanded shit to you. Behind your back, try to if they ain't your spot. They might touch things they shouldn't be touching.
Well,
but at the end of the day, a greedy person is suffice.
Okay.
A stingy person make you feel like you got even if they say no, you feel like you got to kiss their ass or bite your fingernails when you're talking to them.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: do you feel like you can feel safe, secure, and comfortable around a greedy person?
Gun to the head. That's a good question.
Okay, let me tell you why.
I could.
You think you can? Okay. Now, the reason I ask you that is this, because a greedy person, okay, with a stingy person, you know where you stand. You know where you stand from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Right.
They ain't giving you nothing. So you already know that you're going to have to make it on your own when it comes to a stingy person. And that's not to say that just because a person is stingy, that they're stingy 100% of the time in all areas. Because some people do pick their area of stinginess. You know what I'm saying? Just like a person may pick their area of greed. But see, with a greedy person, I don't think that I could ever get comfortable around a greedy person because I'm never sure of my status with a greedy person. Like while they right there in front of my face, I might be good. But who knows what they'll do behind my back or in spite of me or in spite of our good relationship with each other because they greedy. So a greedy person will take chances, will go ahead and go forward with unscrupulous activities because they greedy. So they'll sell you out. Why? Because they greedy. Right. But so you can never really know where you stand with a greedy person. That's my position. Now, I mean, you might disagree with that. Many people might disagree with that, and I'm open to that. But from my point of view, I don't think I could trust a greedy person, but I could kind of trust a stingy person because they already let me know what it is. Don't ask me for nothing because you ain't gonna get it. But then again, sometimes you might get it. With a greedy person, I just don't know. Like, where would their greed take them? You know what I mean? Greed. Look at how many, cats on the street, cats in the drug game and all of that got took out by greed. They got took out by greed. You ain't going to tell me that this corner and that corner couldn't exist business-wise, but they said, no, it don't work that way. We need both corners. And so in order for us to have both corners, we know that person ain't going to give up that corner freely. So we have to eliminate the competition. And I mean, eliminate them 6 feet under, slow singing and flower bringing, you know what I'm saying? Obituaries and eulogies, but that's all greed. A greedy person may find it hard to coexist with other people who are doing the same thing that they do because they want it all. But that's just my take on it, man. Do you?
No, I agree with that. I agree with that 1,000%. Well, when I said I can trust a greedy person, it's because they're going to be in front of me, like you just said. I'm not going to let them. I wouldn't allow them to be around just stay in my house, in my household with me not being there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I would, if I'm there, that's different. But a stingy person, I think stingy and selfish is one within the same realm. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I think that, when a person has, I cannot be a stingy person if I have, because within my spirit, I just cannot see somebody in need that I cannot try to bless or, sow a seed for.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because, if somebody sow a seed for me, you got to pay it forward. You know what I mean? You just can't sit back on coins. If your coins is coining, you can't sit back and be like, no, I ain't doing that. But like, I'm gonna give you for example. My mom, when I was going to church as a kid and I was tithing, or when I would see homeless people, they were asking me, I said, I'm not giving them, I know what they're gonna do with the money. But my mom had said to me, she was like, Troy, you give from the heart. What they do with it is not you to judge. God is going to judge them what they do with that money. And that was somewhat of a turnaround for me, because I was never willing to give to people who were suffering that might really need it. So then when it got to the point where I said, I'll give out a couple dollars to somebody that might need it, I stopped doing that, and I said, you know what? If you need something to eat, I'll buy you something to eat.
Okay.
But I'm not going to put it in your hands, because I have certain circumstances where I wouldn't even do that with my own child, my own daughter, because she has her own issues, and I don't want to supply her with certain situations. So why would I do that to a homeless person, or somebody that's doing anything? So at the end of the day, you just have to judge people accordingly and understand that if you sit back and you're greedy and you become so greedy where you ice pick somebody in the back, at some point in time, it's going to catch up to you. And even if it does catch up to you in this life, it'll catch up to you in the afterlife. That's if you believe in that. So that's just my take on it, son.
I mean, I understand that. I guess I just don't really have it in me to be worrying about the afterlife while I'm here for other people. I have to worry about that.
No, I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying that's just, how I would look at it on that aspect. I'm not worried about it.
No. All I'm saying is, I have to deal with people while I'm here amongst the living and breathing. You know what I mean? So I'm not, I can't excuse trifling or ruthless or reckless behavior, with karma. Like, fuck karma. You know what I mean? I'm going to do something about this situation right now. But to me, it boils down to your expectations. If I don't expect certain things from you, then like dealing with a stingy person will only really get on my nerves if my expectations are that you will not be stingy, or that you might provide or help out or contribute. If those are not my expectations, then a stingy person can't hurt me. But with a greedy person, regardless of my expectations, I can get fucked up. Look at the pharmaceutical industry. Extremely greedy. They affect other people, regardless of whether they know them or are aware that they exist or whatever. The pharmaceutical industry, especially the companies involved, have tons and billions of dollars. Is it enough? No. All of these major corporations out here, impact our bottom lines and many times our health. Why? Over greed. Not because they stingy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like, let's just look at the Purdue Pharma, the ones that had something to do with, Percocets, what's the oxycodone?
Yeah.
Them right there, it fucks me up because I've seen the movie on it, and also a documentary on it. And these guys, within a certain, maybe let's say about 10 years, he made over 34, 35 billion off of that damn oxycodone, that greed. And then when they got brought into court and they had to pay people and had to deal and got sued for that, then they went on the back end and said, well, we're going to make money off the recovery now. And it's like, what the fuck? So you got people addicted, and then now you want to rehab them.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? There can't be any more person that's more greedy. Like, look who's on the head of the country. He made it to the top because of greed. His bankruptcy hurt the people that was underneath him, the carpenters, the plumbers, the people, the brick masonries, all the people that when he filed for bankruptcy are the ones that he hurt. He went up to the top. He kept ascending to the top. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing it with the country now, making the rich, trying to get rid of the middle class and just have a rich class and a poor class. So the greed doesn't stop. It doesn't.
But I totally agree. I totally agree. And he's just one example. I mean, he just had a summit. He just had a summit with another greedy world leader. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, you know how big Russia is?
Yeah.
But they were even crazy more massive when they were the USSR. And so, and because Putin is X or KGB, because I'm thinking it's KGB for life, because he is definitely, if you really think about it, he's trying to implement the make Russia great again thing, just like Trump is trying to do the make America great thing. I'm surprised nobody ever pointed that out. Putin is trying to go back to the communist territorial pursuits that the USSR had. That's where he comes from. And for him, that was their heyday. They should have never given that up. Trump is trying to go back to a time when America was getting it and shitting on everybody else. But, and I wouldn't even be against that, except for the time period that he's trying to go back is when there was so much wealth inequality and social inequality and social injustice that, you know, the 50s was fucked up. White people scream, yay, the 50s. Black people like, shit. You see, y'all ain't ask us. I ain't never heard a black person rave about the 50s, even the ones that was born in the 50s or the late 40s. I don't never hear no black person talk about how great the 50s was. Not a black person. But greed don't stop. Greed does not stop. And you have to be aware of that. So, you know, for some people are attracted to greed. You know, to some people, greed is sexy because it, you know, sometimes with some people, it takes a lot of energy, you know, energy and drive to be greedy. Like look at P. Diddy. He's very greedy, but he put in the pain. He put in the work. You know, he was charismatic with people enough within his greed that he got things done. But Russell Simmons was the same way, but they had different tactics. But Russell Simmons was the same fucking way. I don't know if do you remember when he was doing this thing with Rush Management?
Mm-hmm.
You've been to those Def Jam the Def Jam tour shows back in the day. You saw whenever an artist was on the Def Jam tour that wasn't a Rush artist management client, they sound got fucked up. They ain't have no pyro. I've seen Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One look terrible on stage. Why? Because they was on a Rush stage. So Rush, he exercised his greed and territorial pursuits just like everybody else. He had everybody. He had the game in the chokehold. People don't talk about that a lot, but I remember.
Yeah, because people really, sometimes people access greed with just money. There's other ways of being greedy, and some other ways is just as hurtful. Greed can get you killed. You know what I'm saying? Or get other people killed. You know, and that's the fucked up part about greed. You know, stinginess, you know, that can also get you killed. When you sit back, when a person is really struggling, when people sit back and you got money, but you would rather fight somebody for something that's meaningless, like a chain, or oh no, you're not taking my car, but you can deal with the loss of that.
Mm.
But your stinginess is saying, no, you're not taking this from me. No, give that motherfucker that car, take that insurance, and this, that, and other. You know, like greed when some people would go in the store, you know, and see a person struggling, like you get to the register. People get to the register and they get ready to pay for these stuff and they need $1.50. You know, instead of just saying, man, I got this way, I need $1.50. You'll sit back and be stingy and be like, man, what is $1.50 for that? Man, I ain't giving nobody that. And it's not even looking for a blessing. You're just pretty much being you, being a part of who you are. You know, but greed is a gift and a curse. You know, and that curse can be death, can be you getting hurt, can be somebody else getting hurt. You know, it's good to be greedy, but it's bad to be greedy and get people involved with your greed. Like there's a lot of people that's underground from the greedy person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, like people can be greedy by not extending love to their loved ones or to their children.
Right.
They need to be stingy without extending love to their children or their wife. You know what I mean?
Wait. Hold on. Because you wait. So the greedy person and the stingy person is fucking up the love. Wait a minute.
No, I'm talking about the stingy person.
Oh, the stingy person. Okay, all right, I got you.
I made a mistake. The stingy person, you know, the stingy person don't know to compliment. Give a compliment to your wife, or make your kids know that you're there for them, or spending a little bit of time when they think money is the access to the love. Well, money is just the bare minimum. You know what I mean? The stingy person ain't giving them a hug and kiss and telling them you love them. You know? So, I mean, sometimes they need that. They need that. Your son playing football and he lose. You so stingy, you don't even want to say good job or you played a good game despite the loss. You don't say shit to him.
I imagine that stinginess could go that way, but that could also affect the greedy person, because the greedy person might be so wrapped up in their career or trying to get money that they may not feel like they need to spend time with their children or their spouses or their loved ones. You know, they just, they good for the check. So they just provide the money and take all the credit. You know what I mean? Like they just throw money at all of their problems. That money is their solution, but they're never there. They ain't been in those soccer games, football, basketball, baseball, little league, pee-wee league, none of that. They ain't been in none of that. You know what I mean? They ain't been in no dance recitals, no proms, no what would you call it? Watching their kids play a tree or a rock in a play. They not there for that. You know what I'm saying? They just throw the money. And then when things don't go right with they kids or whoever, it's like, yo, I did everything. I gave y'all everything. I provided everything for y'all. Everything except for your time. Because your greed, your greed for money and power, overrode your desire or willingness to be there and actually breathe life into this situation. You rather just throw the money at it and take credit for it if it's successful, and complain about how you wasted the money when it don't go right. So I could see problems with both the greed and the stinginess part when it comes to love and affection or time and effort. Being stingy with your effort, at least you're going to get called on that. You know what I mean? Like if you being stingy with your time and your effort is probably going to be looked at as either unwillingness to cooperate or laziness. So at least somebody's going to hold you accountable for that shit. But the person who threw money at it, ain't nobody going to say shit. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to fly under the radar because it's like, oh, well, he gave y'all the money. Y'all fucked up the money. Y'all ain't do the right thing, blah, blah, blah. He or she will be absolved of all guilt. But, so, and that's not to say that that's etched in stone. I can't say that it would happen like that altogether. But people respect, especially in this country, people respect capitalism. They respect the money. They think that if you give money, then you've given everything. Until your gripe or your beef with somebody is not how much they didn't give you money wise, but how much they didn't give you in time and effort and love and attention that you needed. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's all good for business projects. Yes. All right. You can throw the money at it because that's what we needed. What up, Dave Figueroa, CSWS? Yeah, but so I mean, people who give money get away with a lot of shit. And they have the excuse that I was busy. I was trying to provide for this. Think about it. They get away with the shit. I was busting my ass trying to provide for this family, trying to build this generational wealth. And that's a good thing. But guess what? What use is generational wealth if we fucked up this generation? So you gonna make it good for our grandkids and our great grandkids, but you gonna fuck everybody else up that's standing now? I don't know, son.
I mean, we just went through that situation with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. You know what I mean? He put all his money into his election, and then he became greedy and wanted all this. He wanted this, he wanted that, he wanted this, and so on and that. And then when Donald Trump didn't give it to him, even though we're talking about this asshole, now you want to name call and make accusations and create new parties. But the part about it is that you was willing to give to receive. And what you just said is the most important thing you said something about was it's your expectation. You don't expect things from people. And I think that's a part of me that bothers me. And because my mom always said that, stop expecting people to be like you or to act like you because they're not going to do that. You expect people to be the same person you are, giving, understanding, forgiving, respectful. And when they don't do that, then you get pissed the fuck off. You know what I mean?
With Elon Musk, I'll say this. I've never liked him and I don't like him. But the one thing that I can respect about him is that you know where you stand with Elon. It ain't, you know what I mean? Like, you know where you know that everything dealing with Elon is transactional. He don't try to kick it like it's about love or friendship. We here to get this money. You see what I do. I'm the richest man in the world and I throw my money around in order to get power, and you already know. I didn't try to hide it. I ain't like Bill Gates running around here in Africa and shit, poisoning kids in communities and villages and shit, acting like I'm trying to help them or heal them. I told you I don't give a fuck about no Africans. no Asians, or nobody. Fuck them all. I'm just trying to get this money. Now, you fuck with me, you gonna get paid. I know you want to get paid.
You know, the fucked up thing about Elon Musk is he's part of American. He's an African American.
I'm not. They don't really call Africans from Africa African Americans.
But it's funny as shit though.
But yeah, I can deal with almost any situation where I know where I stand. But with a greedy person, it's really hard to know where you stand with them, you know, because they will exercise whatever tactics that they think they need to in order to wield the type of power or to gain the type of access that they want. It's not about what they need with a greedy person. It's never about what they need. It's always about what they want. Always. So we have to be conscious of that. You know, because the minute we forget that, we have problems with it. The Lizards video says gold chain or seashell chain. Gold chain for me. Larry Cottingham says, do you have COVID? You don't look well. COVID though? Damn, you about. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. You know, I mean, people do still get COVID, but looking like they got COVID, I mean, we're a little past that. We're a little past that, dog. We know.
I heard a trolling, but that's some dumbass trolling.
Yo, man, if you look in these comments, you see a lot of dumbass shit tonight. You know what I mean? This is different. You know, they rolled in tonight. This shit is saturated and fortified. But shout out to CSWS, my man Dave Figueroa, without a doubt. Hold on. It was Rachel. I'm going to talk to the. Wait a minute. Some people I gotta get the fuck on about it. Yeah, some people got me. I gotta let them holler back. Let me see. It was somebody up here. Oh, Dr. Bogus. Good looking. Mr. Hazmat. Let me shout him out. Donald Kinsella. Okay, that's gonna do it for now. Please, y'all, please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752, and I got my man Troy Diesel on the line. We are talking about the greedy person and the stingy person. So we are talking about the aspects of the greedy person or the stingy person. If you haven't participated in the poll question, please check out the poll question. See, give us your opinion on it. As a matter of fact, since we have 87 votes on the poll question, let's go ahead and take a look at the results so far. The question is it easier to deal with someone who is stingy or someone who is greedy? 44% of 87 people said stingy. They keep to themselves. 15% says greedy. At least they ain't stingy. 15% also says you can be broke and still be stingy. And 26% says you can be broke and greedy. Broke and greedy. Man, dealing with somebody who is broke and greedy, woo! Broke as hell and still greedy. Well, you can best believe that if a person is broke and they're greedy, they're gonna steal. They are definitely gonna find their way to be right about taking from somebody who has more than them. Like somebody who's broke and greedy will stick a gun in your face and take your watch, your chain, your rings, your wallet, your phone, your car, all of that shit. That's what broken greedy does. A broken greedy person is almost reduced to animal-like behavior or instincts. You know what I mean? They're very predatory. When a person is broke and greedy, they are very, very predatory. It's not a good look. What up, Timoni Airsoft? He says, Timoni Airsoft says, I'm greedy for Bussy. You mean pussy? You know what? You know, if you would have been here earlier, you would have checked out my song, my new cut, Stingy with the Pussy. You know what I mean? You might have enjoyed that. I might play it again before. I might perform it again before the end of the show. But please make sure y'all hit the like button. Don't be stingy with the likes. Sometimes y'all be stingy with the likes. Y'all stingy. You know what I mean? You gotta be all stingy with them. What you stingy with the likes for? Stop being stingy with the likes, right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta be stingy with the likes and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh, LOL, Bussy. Bussy means something else, huh? All right, let me Google. Because these young cats, man, they be coming through with these new slangs and shit. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. You know what Bussy means, Troy?
Dave, tell us what Bussy means.
Do you know, Troy?
Mr. Figueroa, please let me know what Bussy means. I'm inquisitive. I'm already on. I just got the phone them, and I recently found out what YN is, and you know, there's so much stuff going on with these words mean? And everything.
Oh shit! Bussy is a slang term, a portmanteau of boy and pussy that typically refers to the male anus, especially with the LGBT. Oh God, you know what?
Well, that's what he into.
I thought he was saying Bussy because you. All right, just for that, I'm getting him the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? Just for that shit. Just for that, you getting the fuck on up out of here, son.
Get your Bussy out of here.
You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here, bitch ass. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You go bye-bye. You go bye-bye. Bye, sir. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna get you going. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave, for, you know what I mean, looking out. Like, what the fuck?
That's why he put that damn smiley face laughing.
So I guess it's not Bussy. I guess I was saying it wrong. It's Bussy.
Yeah.
So it's Bussy.
Man, Bussy.
Look, I didn't need to learn that tonight. But I did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I would rather be ignorant to it. Let me be an ignorant person. You know, I'd rather be illiterate to that.
It's funny, man. It's a funny thing because I was at the store today. When I was coming out the store, this dude, probably around my age or somewhere around there, you know, he looked like he was somewhere in our generation. And he was like, yo, man, I got these jeans. I don't know the name of these jeans he was talking about. It was some foreign sounding shit. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, I got size 40. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, even though it might look like it, I can't wear no size 40, my dude. I said, I'm really a 36, but I wear 38s to be comfortable, but I cannot wear 40. He was like, oh, okay, well, look, take my number because I be having these jeans. He named off all of these jeans. The only ones I recognized was True Religion. So he said, you know, when I come across them, whatever, I'll send them to your phone. If you dig them, come and holler at me. I said, I bet. And I had to tell him, I said, listen, man, I'm not out here trying to look like no young boy. So don't send me nothing, you know, looking like something that these young boys will wear. I'm not gonna wear that shit, and I'm definitely not paying no top dollar for that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I just like to look regular, old head fly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you know, don't send me nothing with all these cuts in the jeans and shit. Like they invented that shit. I was doing that shit when I was 19 and doing it the flyway. You know, like the shit that motherfuckers ain't even had a finger on a post. All right? But anyway, so I had to let him know. I was like, I'm not out here chasing these young chicks out here, so I'm not trying to look like that. I don't want these bitches out here talking about zaddy. No, I'm not zaddy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't zipping up nothing. I ain't zipping. I ain't zicking. I ain't doing nothing. No sad. No sad. We not doing that. We not doing that. No. Zed ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you gotta let them know. Raphael Val says, have you got a job? Why? Do you need a job? And to the core, Vizbex says, what the fuck is this? Will not recommend your channel. Well, fuck you. And good. You don't have to recognize my channel. You bitch. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? You're like coming on.
Nothing wrong with being polite. The way you say it is so polite. I mean,
look, I'm just saying. He came on here to say that he wouldn't recommend my channel. Yo, I wouldn't recommend a dick in your mouth. Not mine. However, but anyway, so Mud to Money, Jay Savage. What up, Mud to Money, Jay Savage? What's good? Raphael Val said, oh, yeah, he said, please do find a job, grandfather. Damn, and I shouted your bitch ass out. Fuck both of you. You know what I mean? You know, hold on, Troy. Respectfully, fuck both of you and your mom.
That's what I was gonna say. His mom is the job. His mom is the job.
Mother, who is she screwing now? It felt like yesterday. That bitch was going down. Lower and lower, suckle me. And she will see what's going on. Fuck out of here. These motherfuckers don't know. They don't know. This is the clapback channel. You ain't coming through here. You running through here like it's sweet like that. He said, I want to buy you for $10. The fuck? Hey, yo, tell you what. Put that in a super chat. Put that in a super chat. That's what you do. Put that in a super chat and everything be all right. Everything be all right since you got $10. Oh, damn, he erased that shit. All right. I mean. But anyway, your mom's still a hoe.
His mom what?
His mom's still a hoe. Your mom a hoe. She's still a hoe. You know, she not getting out of this shit. Regardless of what you do, you cannot take your mom's hoe passed away. You can't. She was greedy. She might have been stingy with the pussy with your dad, but she was definitely greedy for the dick with everybody else. Superhead, the original. But anyway, all right. So
her name is Henrietta.
Henrietta, word. All right. So the greedy person and the stingy person. Now, what about people who grow up under or are born to greedy or stingy parents? You know, like, what's your projection of life if you were born to greedy or stingy parents? Well, let's do the stingy parent first. If you were born to stingy parents, that's a tough position to be in, because that means that probably the times when you wanted to go to the movies or hang out with your friends or get the latest electronics or clothes, fashions and shit like that, you know what I mean? Your parents was probably like, nah, you get none. I'm not giving you none of that. I work for this money. I'm the only one in this house that works or whatever, and my money ain't going there, even though they might have had plenty enough plenty enough money to be able to hang out. Ethan Kate said, why so many necklaces? You mean 2? Well, goddamn. Shit, did y'all say that to 2 Chainz? Even though I was wearing it before he did.
And he had more than 2 on.
Yeah, I mean, like what the fuck, man? Yeah, I mean, these motherfuckers are treacherous tonight, son. You know what I'm saying?
He had more than 2 chains in a coupe the color of mayonnaise.
So yeah, so yeah, if you were born to greedy parents, growing up and maybe even fitting in could be really, really tough. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a tough position to grow up in. But many people have been born to greedy parents, and that's just something they had to deal with. But that's a tough position to be in. Now, if you grew up with greedy parents, Troy, what do you think? If you grow up with greedy parents, how do you think that works out with the kids?
If you dealing with greedy parents, there has to be. You have to. I think some parents will explain to them, why are they the way they are. Sometimes greedy parents are the ones that sit there saying, I just don't want y'all to fall into that my upbringing. You understand what I'm saying? Mm. So, but at the end of the day, if they don't explain it, it can scar them. I think that if they don't have a conversation with their children about why they're the way that they are, it can scar them, and it can become, it's going to harm the kids and the next generation. It can become a generational curse, I meant to say.
Okay.
Whereas though that kid will take it to his kid and hand it down. So there has to be a conversation. You know what I mean? If dad is working so many hours and he's not spending time with the son or daughter, they have to explain that. Same thing with mom. Sometimes people become so greedy, they send their kids to boarding school. And they never had that conversation with their children. Why did y'all do that to me? Why did y'all not want to keep me around, to take care of me, except for to send me away because y'all had so much on y'all back. If that's the case, y'all shouldn't. Some kids would be like, you should never have me then. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, there has to be a conversation. I mean, I'm never going to give a pass to a person being greedy, but there's some understanding behind it. When I'm talking about greedy as in greedy and to the point where they is a sacrifice in between. I think that, some people become so greedy that it becomes not about the money, it becomes about themselves. Mm. You want to make money behind it. But then you don't, like for instance, Tom Brady. Do you think that he was or stingy with his career just because the last he could have ended his career on the upside of things, but he came back for his last season and he lost his family because of that.
No, he didn't. He lost his family.
He was already cheating before that.
No, he lost his family. Well, he lost his wife because she was a manipulating bitch. That shit was so much conviction. You dealing with a superstar athlete, the Michael Jordan of football. You expected this man to still have something left in the tank and to retire because you say that it's time for him to become a family man. This motherfucker ain't seen a summertime cookout in 20 years. easily. He been at the top of his game. You knew who you married. You a damn model yourself. So, no, he wasn't greedy and he wasn't stingy. He sure as fuck wasn't stingy. He wasn't even stingy when it came to his teammates. He took the low so he could always make sure that his teammates could, he could have a good team around him. So no, Tom Brady, and I'm not a Tom Brady fan at all. I like him as a broadcaster though, but I was never a Tom Brady fan. But I remember those memes going around. Oh, he lost his wife because he wouldn't quit his job or some dumb shit like that. I'm like, man, if y'all don't cut that bullshit out, people who are in this industry, shit, they understand way more about what it takes to be successful and have staying power in this industry than the regular fan would understand. So for her to try to pull a jack move like that was ridiculous, but she did, and he was going to lose her anyway. He was going to lose her anyway. She was probably lost anyway. But you don't give the Michael Jordan of football that kind of ultimatum. That's not what you do. You know what I'm saying? So, so that I just don't think that had anything to do with greed or being stingy. I don't think so. But it might have been greed on her part. There's a good chance there may have been some greed on her behalf. Maybe she felt like she should have him instead of the rest of the world. Like, she wanted to pull John. She basically wanted Tom Brady to be what the equivalent of a reality TV show dad. You know what I mean? Instead of being a superstar quarterback like he was. I mean, the motherfucker left the Patriots after winning 6 rings and went to Tampa Bay and won a ring the first year. You didn't think he'd want to do that again? Okay, maybe he was greedy for another championship. Maybe. Maybe. I think it was justifiable. He was going for the record. He was going for a record that hopefully wouldn't be touched in a long ass time. I don't think he was wrong about that. And like I said, I'm not a Troy. What the fuck? I'm not a Tom Brady fan.
God damn, you're not a Troy fan?
Yo, your fucking comment came up and that's, you know what I mean? Freudian slip. I just fucking spit that shit. You know what I'm saying? Psychology like a motherfucker, dog.
Your response, though.
I didn't even read it. All I saw was your name. Let me see.
Yeah, right. You said you look like it. You look like my pastor. I said, since you look like your pastor, can you lay hands on your mom?
Oh wow.
Bless you, my child. For our here for your needs. And take it in the pipe of your dreams.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna get back on that. Your parents, if you were born to greedy parents, I'm kind of curious about exactly how that would look. Like, are you greedy? Like, what are you greedy for as a parent of somebody? Like, what children who are greedy, who are born to greedy parents, what do they see? Do they see their parents working all the time and not spending any time? So they greedy for financial success. I don't know, man.
Could be greed, could be all the above.
All of which above? I'm not sure if greed applies in every situation. As a child of a greedy parent, I'm not sure which area is greed can cover as a parent.
I know this much. When I had my first son, right, I was real greedy because there was more of a fear. Because that's your first child. You want to make sure that he has everything. So I was out there working 2, 3, sometimes 4 jobs. And then I got to the point where I was like, I need to work one job that's going to pay me the same amount as 4 jobs will pay me. You know what I mean?
That's not greed.
So, sometimes that's the sacrificing of time.
That's not greed. That's not greed. Because you were trying to provide. You were trying to, and you even had the presence of mind to know that you needed one job that would pay you the salary of the 3. You know what I mean? That's not how greed works. Greed works like you was already getting a really big salary from each job, and you were looking for another way, to have even more. See, greed is not when you don't have enough and you're trying to make enough. Greed is when you have way more than what you need and you want more. Greed is excess.
Do you think greed is an addiction?
It can definitely be. It can definitely have addictive qualities. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like greedy in terms of having a sex addiction. I don't know if you've ever known anybody that had a sex addiction, man. They trifling, man. That shit crazy. Like they will find a way to fuck somebody on their way to work, at work, after work, come home, fuck their wife, or their husband. This shit is, it's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. Horrific. Sexually horrific. Like reckless to the nth degree. Reckless to the nth degree. So yeah, we not, you have to change your picture of a greedy person to something a little bit more negative or sinister, unfortunately. Because greed is not when you don't have enough and you're looking for, greed is not trying to even the playing field or get enough. Greed is when you have enough and you want more. That's what greed is. Now, some people may say, well, you can never have enough money because something catastrophic can always come and take the money from you. There isn't such thing as having enough money. I understand how greed can prevent you from thinking that way. And I can understand how you could substitute the word greed for ambition. But you look at Elon Musk. He has way more than everybody else. But he can't be convinced that he has enough because he wants to monopolize everything. He wants everything. That's greed. That's greed. Even Trump is not like that. He wants a lot, but he does recognize that, other motherfuckers got to get paid too. You know what I'm saying? So he might not give to the me's and the you's, but his rich buddies, he hooked them up all the time. Like, yo, I'm gonna go fuck this stock market up real quick so y'all can, buy on the low, and then I'm gonna get it back right so y'all make all this money back. He did that. Straight inside trading. But yeah, so greed is when you have enough and you still want more. Doesn't mean that you don't give any away. It doesn't mean that you don't provide, but you have more than you need. And you still are looking for more. You know, like Billy Idol. In the midnight hour, she want more, more, more. When the rebel yell, she want more, more, more. Yeah! All right, anyway.
Hey,
That was my shit, son. That was my fucking...
that was my shit too.
Billy Idol used to
Between
be killing.
between that and Dancing with Myself.
Oh, Dancing with Myself. Sure, White Wedding. You know what I mean? It was my shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll pour myself a drink. So I had some time to think. If the world, yeah, I'm saying, Dancing with Myself is my shit. You know what I mean? If I had the chance to teach the world to dance, and I'd be dancing with myself. Yeah, that's my shit. That's my shit. So CSWS says it's beyond riches. It's power they chase. Exactly. Now, in capitalism, the money is the power, literally. So if you have more than everybody else, you literally have the thing that you've been looking for. But to them, it's like, you know what? You could kind of look at it like financial anorexia. You know how an anorexic person will never see themselves as thin enough? So they will find ways to not eat more and more and more until they are so thin and so malnourished and skinny and nasty looking, but to them, they're not thin enough. That's how greed works. Financial anorexia. I'm not fat enough. I'm not thin enough. I'm not whatever it is enough. I need more and more and more. A. Jones says, go to bed, turn off this live. That's going to happen in about 15 minutes. I don't know if you'll be here when it happens. I don't, you might be here, you might not. I don't know. I don't really care. You're about to make me be mean and just delete your comment. Matter of fact, I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna just delete your dumbass comment. And not even because I'm mad at it. I just like fuck it. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Let me just bust a move on this dumbass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Get him on up out of here.
No, we ain't got no time for him. I mean, look at what David said. Look at David W.
Wait a minute. Master, not tell you again, boy. Oh, God. Yeah, fuck him.
Well, I'll just say, David, I'm black and your daughter is my child. You know what that means. So I said, David, did your dad touch your ass as a kid? Get help. Something wrong with him.
I mean, they've been spirited tonight. I got to give it to them. Very, very spirited tonight. But it's all good. It really is.
You see, the thing is that you can't have thin skin with it. You gotta have thin skin because at the end of the day, you gotta have tough skin, like the jeans. But it's at the end of the day, right? When you sit back and these people come on and they troll and they say what they say and they do what they do, gotta remember, they've been bitches all their life. The only thing that protects them is the fact that they're in the house on a computer, texting back and forth bullshit. Because they knew they couldn't say this stuff in front of people's face. So, their femininity kicked in. It's a condition called bitch assness.
There's no way this could be their first day being a dickhead. It takes years. It takes years to build up that acumen.
So what you don't really understand is that that's a generational curse of being a dickhead. Because they come from a long line of dickheads. There's a string of dickheads within the family, and it just trickles down to them. They have to break that generation curse.
Dickhead BC. Yeah, I mean 486. Like, damn, you go back that far. You know what I mean? That far? Yes. Yes, motherfucker. Yes. Now, we've probably all been on jobs where we had to deal with the greed or stinginess of the company or our bosses. That's a hell of a situation to have to deal with. And that's also one of those situations where you might have to make a decision about whether it's lucrative enough for you to be there or not. Like if you're dealing with a boss who is okay, I'm gonna start off with stingy. We all know what's going to happen if you dealing with a company or a boss that's stingy. You're not going to get raises, you're not going to get bonuses, you're not going to get incentives, or they're going to lowball all of that so much it's going to be like it didn't even happen. You know what I mean? What is a 0.5%? What is a 0.5% raise? Not a 5% raise, but a 0.05% raise. So I'm not getting shit, right? Okay, all right, thank you. That's how a stingy company or a stingy boss would do you. You already know you're not going to be making no real money on this job outside of your base salary. Not going to happen. If you're dealing with a greedy company or a greedy boss, they may give bonuses and incentives and raises and things like that. But because they're greedy, they may practice illegal or unscrupulous tactics in order to exercise their greed. Things like not paying they taxes or whatever. Shit that will bring down the company and have everybody on the unemployment line. Or and I mean a real unemployment line. I ain't talking about with the benefits. I mean your ass just out of a job. Like remember what happened to the Computer Learning Center in Philadelphia years ago?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Students showed up, staff, faculty and shit showed up to teach classes, take classes and all of that. Shit was closed for good. Closed for good. Why? Because they wasn't paying their money.
Mm-hmm.
And other people wasn't paying their money. They wasn't reporting and all of that kind of shit. You know? And they just went belly up. So all of those commercials used to see for the Computer Learning Center right there at 36 and Market all fell by the wayside. All of it. You know, greed. When you're a greedy people feel like they shouldn't have to pay their bills. They feel like they shouldn't have to pay their taxes. They feel like they shouldn't have to pay their utility bills. They a lot of times they feel like they shouldn't have to pay salary. Greedy. It ain't easy dealing with a greedy boss or a greedy company. But if when it comes to that, I would probably rather deal with a greedy company than a stingy company. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And you know what? I was thinking about something. Troy. With this big beautiful bill shit and all of that. It can affect people with that are on a fixed income. And I was thinking to myself, if you work on salary, you're on a fixed income. When you work on salary, your check is the same every motherfucking pay cycle.
Yeah.
That's a fixed income. You can't work no OT or nothing like that. There's nothing you can do outside of a raise or a bonus to change the face of your salary. You want a fixed income. It's just something I wanted to put out there because we don't always look at it that way, but it is.
it's just like it takes me out because people really don't understand, and I'm not trying to get off subject. So I want to let that be known. But people don't understand when when somebody sit back and they're happy they making 29 or when they making 29 or $30 an hour, they don't count the fact that they're only making like $24 an hour. Due to the fact that at some point in time you got to pay your insurance and everything else that trickles down in there along with taxes. So you're not really at the cusp of making. You're not at the cusp of these jobs are not paying for your insurance. You have to pay your own insurance, and then you got to pay short-term or long-term disability. Then they take out taxes for this, taxes for that. If you had no children, you're taking out more. So you're not really on the cusp of that. They think that's why when you make it $21 an hour, you think you're making 21 when you really making maybe 15 or 16.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, I'm sorry for getting off the subject, but that was just elaborating on what you were saying.
Nah, I mean it goes in line with what I was talking about. Jasmine in the comments says something interesting. She said, I got quote unquote looked at in a team meeting because I said instead of giving us these damn pizza parties, what y'all can give to us is a motherfucking raise. She said pound call centers. Yeah. And then she said, oh, I love dealing with either. You talking about being stingy or greedy because they are very easy to humble. I understand. And she makes a good point about these little, these little parties, these little, things.
They do that to pacify you as if, like, I'll give you an example. Years ago, remember that big snowstorm we had back in 95 or 96? I mean, 96, 97?
Oh, I remember that well.
I was working at the Marriott at the airport, so I was there for, they gave everybody who wanted to work their room because they was like, since they shut down the airport, people had to stay in the room. We was booked. So in 1 week, I worked WDAS number, 105.3 hours for that 1 week. And instead of giving us a bonus, that's what they gave us, a pizza party and a T-shirt saying I survived the snowstorm. And then they messed up on my hours, so that means that the next time when y'all taxing the money I'm getting, and then when y'all give me when y'all put it on my next check, y'all gonna tax that money too.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't win for losing. It's just fucked up that when you stick your neck out like that, these jobs don't appreciate certain things. And that's when you feel like they're greedy.
There's a budget for pizza parties and shit like that. And it ain't no money. But they look at it like, we give your ass a dollar raise. That's $40 on each check. So that's $40 times 52. That puts you in the thousands. We're going to give you this pizza party. 200. That's why on those pizza parties, they don't never bitch about asking y'all what y'all choices are. They don't never be like, oh no, we can't get the wings and the sandwiches. They be like, no, whatever you want. Whatever you want.
I didn't even get ready to go there.
Because I mean,
look, whatever you want. Pepperoni pizza party.
Oh, I wasn't gonna go there. I don't even know what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
We gave you pizza pepperoni pies.
so yeah, that little $200-300, that ain't shit. They like per person 3,000 a year? Oh hell no! Nah, we good. We good. You know what I mean? They don't want to do that. Let's see. Let's Let's see how much a dollar raise is over a year. Let's see. Where's my okay, there you go, the calculator. All right, so a dollar times 40 hours is $40. So a dollar raise be sounding like, oh yeah, I got a significant raise. It's $40, dog. And that's before taxes. Slow down. So really, you probably looking at like $32.
How much is that for taxes?
You might be looking at $32. You might be looking at $27. You know what I mean? Okay, but let's say $40. $40, because that's what they still have to pay the government. All right, $40 times 52. That's $2,080. $2,080. They're like, and how many employees we got? Okay. In the grand scheme of things, they're like, let's say it was 50 employees. Okay, so 2080 times 50. 2080 times 50. That's $104,000. So y'all want the pepperoni, the extra cheese, you said? And y'all want the wingdings. Oh, y'all want the breadsticks too?
Barbecue and buffalo.
Barbecue and buffalo. 15. Bring them 15 pizzas in here. You know what I mean?
15. Wait. What else y'all want? Y'all want the burger sliders with cheese? Half cheese, half no cheese? Okay, we got y'all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why they don't never bench, because that ain't, you know what I mean? They ain't trying to do it. Crumb critiques. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Hold on, you know what? I'm gonna give him some triangle. I ain't triangle nobody in a while. I ain't got no super chats open in a while. So hold on. Let me try.
Go ahead. I'm gonna hit Brooklyn Bridge. Brooklyn Bridge. Peace Bridge.
Good looking, my people.
Oh shit.
Good looking. Let me see. Oh damn, we overtime. Oh, we got to get on up out of here. All right.
Damn, that 15 minutes went quick, didn't it?
Fast as hell. Jasmine, I was just going to read Jasmine comments. She said, and if it's like people that are related to people who do construction work, oh my God, they'll put the money in their pockets and just have their family members do the upgrade to the company and stuff. Oh shit, yeah. And Talik says, I don't want to do for myself and haven't done for myself. I ain't about to overhurt my body either just to work for petty change. Okay, Jasmine says, LOL, I left after I made my point and then went back to school to be a psychiatrist. That's what's up. He says, oh, LOL, good morrow, by the way, to everyone. I guess you mean good. Okay, because it's like the morning and tomorrow at the same time, because after that's kind of fly. You know what I'm saying?
That's okay, Mara. She said, Jasmine, you creating your own terminology these days. Beautiful.
Hold on. She piggybacked off of the pizzas and a couple of Pepsis. She ain't never the fucking lied. They give you the works. And they let you take all that shit home like, oh, yeah, take a pizza. Take a pizza. Yo, you want pizza? Take a pizza. Take it home. You want two? You know what I mean? We got a couple of pepperonis. Nobody touched the pineapple and buffalo chicken. Take them shits. Take them. Take them.
That's funny.
What up, Dr. Darnell? What's good? What's good? All right, man. All right, Troy, man, it's been real, man. I appreciate you to the fullest, always. Always, you already know.
I love you, bro. You know you're my brother, man.
Yo, man,
that's how we do
I'm yours and you're mine. That's without a doubt.
All day, man. So we all we got.
Well, we gonna get some more.
Yeah, we are. We are. It was a funny ass chat. It's not so much as a chat. It's just me. I haven't saw so many damn trolls in a long time, man.
Well, hey, it is what it is. Troll lives matter. All right. I'll holler at you later.
All right, boy.
All right, man. Peace. My man Troy, please, y'all, please. Hit that like button. Please don't be stingy with the likes. Don't be greedy with the likes. You know what I mean? Please. I appreciate it. I'm going to do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious. August 18th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. My man Eric Gregory, and also Zoid A. Davis, and Cassandra Renee Muhammad, Coleman Melavina, Tasha Bryant, Oma Saravia, Stella Greer, Jess Enriquez, and my namesake, Omar McIntyre Youngboy, and Annette Jones, Latanya Jeanette Somerville, Lavarnia Chef Mitchell, and last but not least, my girl go-getter Angela Poole. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious August 18th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, to rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, tell y'all like this. Greed is something that we gotta deal with. The only thing about greed you might still chill with, or should I say kill with. You will knock anybody off if you think they soft, because you always have more than you need, but you are more than willing to get some more and make them bleed. Because you can never get enough. It's like you're insatiable, and that shit is crazy. Yo, look at Bull. He was crazy as hell. He took off 3 people just to get their chain and money as well. And he ain't have to do it. He was already paid. But yo, he still's like, shade is something that I'm going to act like you know. I got this shit and the whole bills in tow. And dealing with the stingy motherfucker, even though we got enough, he ain't give you nothing. Yo, you's a sucker to him and everybody, even his kids. He wouldn't mind doing a crime, doing the bid. Yo, stingy or broken, I don't know. It's just like a token. Yo, he'll leave you smoking. Can't trust the greedy one, but you can't trust the stingy one because he'll leave you a needy one. So your expectations matter. So you get put up like cake batter. and you're going to come out just like a muffin. I ain't trying to be like that, Doc McStuffins. Everybody's going to be okay, but not in the minds of the greedy ass person. No way. And the stingy one, that's on some other shit. Yo, you don't care whether your mother, brother, sister, brother shit, sister shit, aunts and uncles, all crazy. Yo, the nieces and nephews, energetic, lazy. They might work for the dough, but they ain't never going to give you none for you to show. And that's supposed to be your man's, dog. What the fuck is going on? They diss you like the fans, y'all. I see y'all tomorrow night. Yo, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 2 a.m. in the morning. And we'll be talking that fly shit again. We're here every night, 2 a.m. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. It's always a movie. Always a movie. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not on coke, but my allergies are driving me fucking crazy. And I'm going to wash my nostrils out and go to bed. Speaking of going to bed, at this hour, you either getting ready to go to work or getting ready to go to bed. You either finna go to work or you finna go to bed. Either way y'all do it, please be safe. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to the show as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. Shout out to my man, Troy Diesel. Thanks for always holding me down, hanging out, and giving me the good conversation and insight. And I appreciate all of y'all. So like I said, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. You haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We will be back tomorrow night, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace, y'all.